Hello, hello, hello. This is Anupama coming to you all the way from New Jersey. Don't wait for that promotion. Start leading now, right where you are. That's something that I heard in one of the leadership conferences that I've been attending. And I decided that's something I need to remind myself over and over again. I need to lead where I am, be it in lower management, middle management, or in senior management. What's the number one question? Leadership expert John C. Maxwell is asked while conducting his leadership conferences. How can I implement what you teach when I'm not the top leader? Is it possible to lead well when you are not a top dog? How about if the person you work for is a bad leader? The answer is a resounding yes. Welcome to the 360-degree leader. I'm reading from the back of this book. People who desire to lead from the middle of the organizations face unique challenges. I know all about that since I am in the middle of an organization, and they are often held back by myths that prevent them from developing their influence. Dr. Maxwell, one of the globe's most trusted leadership mentors, debunks the myths, shows you how to overcome the challenges, and teaches you the skills you need to become a 360-degree leader. If you have found yourself trying to lead from the middle of the organization, as the vast majority of professionals do, then you need Maxwell's insights. You have a unique opportunity to exercise influence in all directions, up to the boss, across, among your peers, and down to those you lead. The good news is that your influence is greater than you know. Practice the disciplines of 360-degree leadership from this book, and the opportunities will be endless for your organizations, for your career, and for your life. Well, today I am going to read from one of the chapters in this book. It is Lead Across. Principle number one is about understand, practice, and complete the leadership loop. Many people who have difficulty leading across have trouble because the approach is too short sighted. They try to gain influence too quickly. Leading is not a one time event. It's an ongoing process that takes time, especially with peers. If you want to gain influence and credibility with people working alongside you, then don't try to take shortcuts or cheat the process. So, I am going to focus on lead across principle number two for today. Put completing fellow leaders ahead of competing with them. In this particular chapter, it talks about how you need to focus on completing versus competing. There's nothing wrong with competition. The problem for many leaders is that they end up competing against their peers in their own organization in a way that hurts the team and them. It all depends on how you handle competition and how you channel it in healthy working environment. There is both competition and teamwork. The issue is to know when each is appropriate. When it comes to your teammates, you want to compete in such a way that instead of competing with them, you are completing them. Those are two totally different mindsets. And here is how it is different. When you are competing, you have a scarcity mindset. When you are completing, you have an abundance mindset. When you are competing, it's always me first. When you are completing, organizations first. When you are competing, it destroys trust. When you are completing, it develops trust. When you're competing, you think win lose. You want to win, other person needs to lose for that. When you are completing, it's win win. You both are going to win. When you are competing only, you are single thinking, my good ideas. When you are completing, You have a shared thinking. Our great ideas. See the difference? It's my good ideas versus our great ideas. When you are competing, you are excluding others. When you are completing, you are including others. So, winning at all costs will cost you when it comes to your peers. If your goal is to beat your peers, then you will never be able to lead across with them. So, how do you balance competing and completing? The bottom line is that the success of the whole team is more important than any individual wins. Organizations need both competition and teamwork to win. When those two elements exist in the right balance, great team chemistry is the result. So, how do you balance competing and completing? How do you learn to easily shift from one to the other? Here is what John Maxwell recommends and what I recommend. Number one, acknowledge your natural desire to compete. You want to make sure you recognize that you do like competition. I do like competition. I am right now working towards my next PMI ACP certification exam. And I want to do better than a lot of others who are taking the exam. That is competition, and there's nothing wrong with it. But how would it be harmful? The key to being competitive is channeling it in a positive way. If you squash it, you lose an edge that motivates you to do some of your best work. If you let it run wild, you run over your teammates and alienate them. But if you control it and direct it, competitiveness can help you succeed. And that is one of the reasons I had started the accountability partnership for the PMI ACP certification exam that I'm preparing towards, and others are. Because, yes, we want to be competitive with each other, but at the same time, help each other do better. Number two, embrace healthy competition. Every winning team can be part of a experienced healthy competition among team members. Healthy competition does so many positive things for a team. Many of them cannot be achieved through anything else. Healthy competition brings helps bring out your best. How many world records do you suppose are set when a runner runs alone? I don't think there is any. People function at peak capacity when they have someone else pushing them. That's true whether you're learning, practicing, or playing the game. Second piece is healthy competition promotes honest assessment. What is the quickest way for you to measure your effectiveness in your profession? Maybe you have long term measurements in place, such as monthly or yearly goals. But what if you want to know how you're doing today? How would you go about measuring it? You could look at your to do list, but what if you set the bar too low for yourself? You could ask your boss. But maybe the best way would be to see what others in your line of work are doing. If you are significantly behind or ahead of them, that would tell us something, right? And if you were behind, wouldn't you try to figure out what you're doing wrong? It may not be the only way to assess yourself, but it certainly can provide a good reality check. And I have been doing that at my work as well. I look at others who are in the same line of work as I am and compare and see where I can improve or where I can help. Healthy competition creates camaraderie. When people compete together, it often creates a connection between them, whether they are on the same team or opposing team. When competition is ongoing and friendly at the same time, it creates an even stronger bond that can lead to great camaraderie. And healthy competition doesn't become personal. Competition between teammates is ultimately about having fun. When competition is healthy, teammates remain friends, and when the game is done, they stay friends. They play against each other for the thrill of it, and when they're done, they can walk away together without hard feelings. So, third point is put competition in its proper place. So, the first point that we talked about to be able to shift from competing to completing is acknowledge your natural desire to compete, embrace healthy competition, and the third is put competition in its proper place. The whole goal of a healthy competition is to leverage it for the corporate win. Competition in practice helps teammates to improve one another for game day. If it is channeled correctly, it is used to beat the other team. Of course, some leaders can take this to the extreme, but when we keep control over it, then it is good. Number four, know where to draw the line. No matter how much your desire to win, if you want to cultivate the ability to compete in a healthy way, you must make sure you never cross the line by going for the throat with your peers, because if you do, you will alienate them. And that line is not difficult to define. John Maxwell says that when competitiveness raises the bar and makes others better, that's healthy. Anytime it lowers morale and hurts the team, it's unhealthy and out of line. So keep in mind that you want to compete, but at the same time, complete others who you are working alongside with. This is Anupama coming to you all the way from New Jersey. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead of you as you continue to lead from the middle. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.